So here we go, the Scottish Formula Ford cars on the right. Oh, was that a jump start? It was. They're on the grid. I was waiting to say that was a jump start. That looked like Hugo Bentley Ellis. But we will check with that one as we go on down towards the hairpin for the first time. Ross Martin and Matt Round-Garrido lead the way through the hairpin. Seb Melrose gets himself up into what looks like third position there as they make their way towards Clark Corner. But we'll come back and revisit that at the start. Was that a jump start? Was it not a jump start? Difficult to see guys going round Clark Corner for the first time of asking and heading down the back straight towards that all-important chicane. And then the track becomes like a roller coaster. You go left, over the crest hill, right down the hill. The stomach hits the bottom of the ground there. Then you back up Butchers in towards McIntyre's. Before they leave McIntyre's and gather your senses up, you're already climbing back up through Leslie's and up to the top of Duffy's Dip. Absolutely flat stick in a Formula Ford 1600 car. And Ross Martin, the current Scottish champion, with Matt Round-Garrido visiting, who will be racing next weekend at the TCR event, all over the back of his LD 200 gearbox as they head down towards the hairpin. But Ross Martin manages to hold on to that lead on the brakes as they go through the hairpin. It is Seb Melrose, the young Scotsman Seb Melrose, in third place just now, and he's got a whole line of cars behind him. A lot of fast guys. Seb's a fast guy himself, but he's got a lot of fast visitors in there. That could be Eastwell and Hugo Bentley Ellis. Rory Smith, one of the red and white cars, the Medina car going through the shot as well. And we'll pick up on the leaders as they come down the back straight towards the chicane. And look at Garrido, Round-Garrido all over the back of Ross Martin as they go over that chicane. Beautiful images of the cars floating through the chicane and then climbing back up in towards McIntyre's. Now it's important for Round-Garrido to try and get past Ross Martin because he knows Ross Martin's had the pace through the majority of the weekend. Fastest man on Friday test, fastest man on Saturday and Sunday for the racing as they go over the crest of the hill down towards the hairpin. Jordan Gronkowski makes a move further back. Was that Gronkowski trying to go past Gary Sykes? We'll have a look at that as the two Kevin Mills Spectrums battle for position here. Jordan tried to go round there, but no, he didn't get round. He was shown the edge of the track as they come in towards the hairpin. Through Clark Corner, there is Rory Smith. He is that red and white car. Oh, Round-Garrido playing with the edge of the curb there. That was almost disaster for that young man. You don't want to get too close to that. If you do, the next bit is dirt, and the dirt gives you no grip whatsoever. As we see these cars coming in towards McIntyre. Seb Melrose, the first of the white car. Then we've got Hugo Bentley Ellis. Then we've got Eastwell, Kevin Eastwell, as they make their way back up the track towards, once again, the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge, where they will click off another lap. And these laps are going fast and furious, that's for sure. Michael Eastwell will be pretty happy with his position so far, although he will want to get his teammates. We go on board with Jordan Gronkowski down to the hairpin. Gronkowski tries to go up the inside. Not to be. He tried pretty hard. Somebody's going off the road in front of him though. There's a big cloud of dust. Who have we lost there? Was that Sebastian Melrose? Did Seb get forced wide by one of the Kevin Mills Spectrums? Yes, he did. Melrose loses a whole chunk of positions there. He's there going through the corner, still ahead of Jordan Gronkowski, but that really did hurt Seb into the hairpin. That would have been Hugo Bentley Ellis trying to force the issue up the inside and just showing Seb the edge of the track. Once you put a wheel in the gravel, it pulls the rest of the car in towards the gravel, and then you have got absolutely nothing left bar to sit out and wait till you get back on the track. So Melrose won't be happy with that, but look at this. Matt Round-Garrido tries to go round the outside of Ross Martin. He's going to try and go the long way round in towards the hairpin. Ross Martin will have that covered every day of the week. Definitely not that man's first rodeo. Look at, he does that there, perfect. Tries to counter the block pass or the cutback that Round-Garrido was going to get, and it doesn't happen. These guys, they're going to have to watch now, because if they start battling too much, Hugo Bentley Ellis there, and Michael Eastwell there, and Rory Smith there, and then the next man, Seb Melrose, will be out for revenge. They're going to catch up pretty quickly towards the two leaders. But just look at Round-Garrido underneath the gearbox of that GBR run Ray, the Graham Brunton race team in Scotland here. The crack team for Ray. If you want to be fast in a Ray, you're usually finding yourself in one of those cars, supported by Gavin Ray, the factory. And he really does put a big emphasis on the Scottish Championship here as they go once again underneath that Buildings Beatson Supply Bridge. Look at this, up the main straight, defending the minute he gets onto the straight is Ross Martin. He wants this win very, very badly. A little bit of understeer by the looks of things mid-corner for Ross Martin there. Might have gone on just a little bit too hot. Heading round towards Clark's. I've got to say, the two Kevin Mills Spectrums are catching up, definitely. Look at this. Hugo Bentley-Ellis and Michael Eastwell and Rory Smith definitely catching up. They're on the hunt here. And so far, Ross Martin doing his bit for the local talent in first place. We've then got Seb Melrose, the luckless Melrose, who was shown the edge of the track, and he just overdrives the exit of Clark's a little bit there. Bit of a rear wheel slide as he came onto the curb there, but managed to gather that up, thankfully, as these four at the front all starting to gather themselves together. And the Spectrums have arrived, guys. They're right on the back now. Raul Garrido is going to have to go from the attacker to watching his mirrors, because if he attacks too much, he's going to leave himself lame and open on the straights and on the braking points, as once again Ross Martin covers the inside line as they head down towards the hairpin. Good bit of braking there, holds it inside. Look at this, there goes Hugo Bentley-Ellis up the inside. Can he make that stick? Yes, he can. Almost. So close between these young men as they leave the hairpin and head towards Clark's. But Raul Garrido has managed to hold that as they go through Hislops. But that's a warning shot for him. Matt Raul Garrido is going to have to watch now, because too much trying to go round the outside of Ross Martin is going to leave him wide open for attack from these Kevin Mills run Spectrums as they come through once again the chicane. Climb butchers in towards a possible overtaking zone if you can make a block pass into McIntyre's. The only thing is, if you do pass there, it can then make you lame on the main straight. You lose so much momentum on these next two corners as the guys flirt with the edge of the track. Up they come. Ross Martin straight across to the inside white line like that. Nobody's going to get past them on the inside of the brakes, and they're all going to try and go round the outside. Look at this, they're ganging up behind them. Michael Eastwell can see that happening in front of him, and Rory Smith, the next man in view, and he could have a hand in this as well. There's Seb Melrose goes through, Jordan Gronkowski goes through, as the guys accelerate towards Hislops, and now they're at Clark. Through Clark corner they come, tricky downhill one. It really makes the car run out towards the edge of the track there, and there's a little move from Raul Garrido. He thought about going down the inside, but Ross Martin had that covered. Ross Martin oversteers the car all the way through the first part of the chicane and gathers it up on the second curb. Absolutely beautiful car control there. But all this is slowing everybody down, and here comes Rory Smith in that Medina Bat car. The red and white car is starting to catch up as once again slipstreaming battle onto the main straight. Over towards the inside goes Ross Martin. What's going to happen at the hairpin? We hold our breath in the commentary box here, because we know just how good Hugo Bentley-Ellis is on the brakes. He goes up the inside of Raul Garrido again though. Still doesn't look like he has an overlap, as Raul Garrido just drives across the nose of that Kevin Mills run Spectrum. Yeah, and he does. He holds off that position. Michael Eastwell getting a grandstand view of this as the other guys all flash through. But Ross Martin corking a bottle right now as they're almost three wide down the back straight, but Ross Martin coping with the pressure so very, very well. These are fast men from the National Championship who are up visiting for this round of the SMRC. So far so good for Ross Martin. Can he hold on for just another couple of laps and take a home victory and have a local support go absolutely bananas here? You can see some of the spectators clapping in the stands there as they know the local man's hanging on to this by the skin of his teeth as Raul Garrido comes alongside him again on the wrong side. That leaves him open on the inside for Hugo Bentley-Ellis. Bentley-Ellis gets a much bigger overlap this time. This is going to be different by the time to go to Clark's. Raul Garrido's off the track. He puts a couple of wheels into the gravel, and that'll let Michael Eastwell pass as well. No, it doesn't. How did he manage to hold that? But Hugo Bentley-Ellis does go up into second place. Now, has he got anything for getting past Ross Martin? Or can Martin hold on to this as they go through once again the chicane? Raul Garrido goes wide. Oh, that's going to hurt the bottom of his car. He bounces over the chicane. I've got to say though, it's a much softer, user-friendly curb in at the chicane now, so that won't hurt the car too badly. He'll probably feel that in his buttocks, but he won't get hurt, that's for sure, as he bounces over the chicane there. And look at the gap now. That one little mistake at the chicane has brought into it Rory Smith. And look at that, round the outside. Michael Eastwell, surely not. He's going to make that stick, and he goes round the outside of Matt Raul Garrido. Garrido will be questioning what that was all about. And has he damaged the car by making a slight mistake there? He tries to come back up the inside. That looked like it was, well, he's actually managed a big manoeuvre from Matt Raul Garrido there. Oh, and he's doing a little bit of waving towards Michael Eastwell there, as Rory Smith now tries to go around the outside of him. I can't see any damage to the car. It doesn't look like it's handling bad. Maybe it was just a mistake at the hairpin from Matt Raul Garrido. Possible wrong gear on the way in, or something happened mid-corner, but up towards the top of the hill they come. Ross Martin leads the way. It's been a classy drive from the young man as he comes over the crest of the hill. Ross Martin will be absolutely delighted with how things are going for him in towards the hairpin once again, ahead of the very talented guys who have come up from the National Series, the Kevin Mills Run Spectrums. These are good cars with fabulous young drivers, great talent behind the wheel of all these cars. And Ross Martin has managed to fend off Matt Garrido. He's now holding off Hugo Bentley Ellis, and there his teammate Seb Melrose goes through. And Seb will be a little bit upset with getting shown the gravel trap at the hairpin earlier on when he was in third position, and that dropped him all the way down. He's fought back very well to get back up to the position he's in and be in touch with young Rory Smith as they go through the chicane. But your leader, Lees McIntyre's chased by second place man Hugo Bentley Ellis as Ross Martin crests the top of Duffy's Dip once again and accelerates up towards the line. It's a classy win for Ross Martin as he goes over the crest of the hill, punches the air, gets a little bit of wave from the pit wall. Ross Martin takes what we would class here as a dominant win. Lights to flag stuff for Ross Martin. He'll be absolutely over the moon with that. Held off the best in Britain, and Ross Martin takes a win from Hugo Bentley Ellis. Matt Garrido holds onto third place from Michael Eastwell and Rory Smith.